Jesus Christ, a figure that transcends time, left a profound legacy with his words. But among so many ways to refer to God, why did he choose the word Father? This simple choice carries an immense weight, which echoes through the centuries and provokes intense reflections. Imagine the implications of such an intimate term, which goes beyond conventional parenthood. What if this relationship was a key to understanding our own connection with the divine? Throughout history, theologians and mystics have addressed this question. The word Father can be filled with hidden meanings that defy traditional interpretations and reveal layers of wisdom. What did Jesus really want to teach us about our origins and our place in the cosmos? What if, by using this term, he was guiding us on a journey of self-discovery and spirituality? Get ready to dive into a universe of meanings where the choice of a single word can transform your understanding of the sacred. What is hidden between the lines of this relationship? Let's unravel together the mysteries that surround this divine connection and the truths that are often left aside. When we talk about the word Father, a series of feelings and images immediately come to mind. In many religious and philosophical traditions, this term carries very powerful symbolism. A father is seen as an authority figure, someone who guides, protects, and above all loves unconditionally. This love is not conditioned on anything. It is a love that accepts, that welcomes, regardless of flaws and imperfections. Furthermore, the father figure is often associated with the idea of security. In different cultures, having a father present means having a safe haven, an anchor in times of storm. This aspect of protection is fundamental to understanding why so many people seek a father figure in their relationships with the divine. When we think of God as Father, it is natural that these associations of care and protection arise. Father symbolism is also linked to responsibility. A father is not only someone who loves, but also someone who takes an active role in the training and education of his children. This leads us to consider the idea that God, in his fatherhood, cares about the spiritual well-being of his creatures, guiding them along the path of good. In short, the term father goes far beyond a simple family relationship. It is a concept that encompasses love, authority, protection, and responsibility. This depth of meaning helps shape the way many perceive the relationship between the human and the divine. When Jesus refers to God as Father, he provokes a true revolution in the way human beings can relate to the divine. This word, which could just be a formality, becomes an invitation to intimacy. By calling God Father, Jesus suggests that the relationship does not need to be based on fear or blind obedience, but rather on a personal and loving connection. This new approach brings a sense of closeness that many have not experienced before. Rather than seeing God as a distant and harsh entity, the image of a loving and approachable Father allows people to feel like they can draw closer to Him, share their struggles and joys, and seek guidance in a more open and sincere way. This changes the dynamics of faith, promoting a more direct and less mediated relationship. Furthermore, this view of God as Father can help demystify some of the barriers that people place between themselves and spirituality. When one realizes that God is accessible and that it is not a relationship based on punishment, many begin to explore their own faith in a more authentic way. This shift in perspective is transformative and encouraging. The deeper implication is that this intimate relationship is not just a privilege of a few. Jesus invites us to see everyone as sons and daughters of God. This suggests that everyone has a place in this parental love. This inclusivity is a powerful message that resonates to this day, encouraging empathy and understanding between people. Divine fatherhood, as presented by Jesus, offers a safe space for spiritual growth. Instead of fearing the figure of God, people can approach this relationship with confidence and hope, seeking a deeper understanding of themselves and their purpose. To better understand the use of the term Father, it is important to look at the cultural context of first-century Judaism. At that time, the relationship between man and God was often marked by a reverent, almost distant respect. The idea of a paternal God who cares about each person individually was not the norm. Therefore, Jesus' choice to use the term Father carried significant weight. In Jewish culture, God was often seen as a supreme being, a judge who punished the wicked and rewarded the righteous. This traditional conception made the idea of a personal and loving relationship with divinity difficult. Thus, by adopting this term, Jesus was challenging established norms and inviting people to a new way of seeing their relationship with God. Furthermore, it is interesting to note that the familiarity of the word Father suggests a space for dialogue and interaction that was almost revolutionary. Jesus not only refers to God as a Father, but also teaches that everyone can address him in this way. This expands the concept of divine fatherhood and makes it accessible to everyone, regardless of their social or religious position. This historical context also reveals how the father figure was valued in society at that time. Parents played a central role in their children's education and morals. Thus, by referring to God as Father, Jesus was using language that resonated deeply with his listeners, establishing a bond that went beyond religious conventions. Therefore, Jesus' choice to call God Father is not just a matter of language, but a proposal for cultural change. He was, in fact, proposing a new way of relating to divinity, one that could have profound implications for future generations. This new vision still impacts spirituality and interpersonal relationships today. When talking about God as Father, it is common to find a paradox. On the one hand, many see God as a loving being who cares and protects. On the other hand, there are those traditions that portray God as a harsh judge, ready to punish the erring. This duality can cause confusion in those who seek to understand faith in a deeper way. After all, how can the same being be so affectionate and, at the same time, so strict? This tension between love and justice is reflected in the personal experiences of many believers. Some people feel comforted by the idea of a Father who embraces and forgives, while others may find it difficult to relate to a God who seems to be always waiting for a mistake to punish. This vision of a judging God can lead to fear and guilt, preventing a more open and intimate relationship with the sacred. Throughout history, many thinkers and theologians have attempted to reconcile these images. They argue that God's love does not exclude justice. In fact, divine justice can be seen as an expression of this love. When God corrects or disciplines, this can be interpreted as a way of guiding humans towards a more correct and fair path. The implications of this duality in the image of God also extend to everyday life. For many, this internal struggle between seeing God as a kind father or a harsh judge can affect how they relate to others. Those who see God as loving tend to be more compassionate and understanding, while those who focus on justice may become more harsh and critical. This discussion about the paradoxes and contradictions in the image of God as Father invites us to reflect on what it really means to have a relationship with the divine. Can we integrate these two perspectives, recognizing that just like in human life, parenthood also involves love and discipline? Apocryphal texts, those that are not part of the canonical Bible, offer fascinating insight into divine fatherhood. These writings often reveal different and, at times, surprising interpretations of the figure of God as Father. Through them, we can see that hidden wisdom can bring new layers of understanding about what this relationship means. Many of these texts challenge traditional narratives, presenting an image of God that comes closer to human experience. For example, some apocrypha talk about fatherhood in terms of care and empathy, emphasizing a God who genuinely cares about the well-being of his creatures. This vision can help soften the image of a distant or inaccessible God. Furthermore, writings such as the Gospel of Thomas and other Gnostic texts suggest that Jesus had hidden messages that could challenge conventional understandings of God. These ideas can open doors to more inclusive and universal interpretations of divine fatherhood, showing that the relationship with God is multifaceted and adaptable to different contexts and life experiences. These perspectives also raise questions about how religious tradition can limit understanding of the divine. By exploring these texts, we are invited to question not only what we have been taught, but also to seek a deeper, more personal understanding of God. This search can lead to a richer and more authentic spirituality, which values the diversity of experiences and expressions of fatherhood. Lastly, the hidden wisdom of apocryphal texts reminds us that the spiritual journey is an ongoing quest. These writings challenge believers not to accept superficial truths, but to delve deeper into the more complex and sometimes uncomfortable questions about God as Father. This exploration can enrich faith and provide a more meaningful connection with the divine. When Jesus refers to God as Father, he is not just using a familiar term. This choice reflects an invitation to spiritual self-discovery. By calling God Father, Jesus suggests that each of us possesses divine potential. This implies that, just as a child is part of its parent, we are also part of something bigger, which invites us to explore our own essence and understand our place in the world. This vision of fatherhood is transformative. She encourages us to look inside ourselves and seek that which connects us to the divine. It's not just about obeying a superior being, but about recognizing that we all have a piece of the sacred within us. This approach can help demystify the idea of a distant and authoritarian God, promoting a more intimate and personal connection. Furthermore, this paternity relationship can be seen as a call to responsibility. As we understand that we are part of the divine, we are also challenged to act in ways that reflect this connection. This means cultivating love, compassion, and empathy, not only towards others, but also towards ourselves. Spiritual self-discovery, then, becomes a process of growth and transformation, where we seek to express the best of ourselves. The spirituality proposed by Jesus thus becomes more inclusive and universal. No matter where we come from or what our beliefs are, we all have the ability to access this divine fatherhood. This idea that we are all sons and daughters of the same Father promotes unity between people and helps to break down barriers that often separate us. This reflection on fatherhood invites us to reevaluate our own relationships. How do we see ourselves in relation to others and the divine? The invitation to spiritual self-discovery is, in fact, a call to recognize that divine fatherhood is present in each of us, encouraging us to explore and fully live our potential. And so, as we explore the deep connection between Jesus and the term Father, we are invited to reflect on our own relationships and how they shape our spirituality. What does this word mean to you? Does it resonate with your search for a more intimate bond with the divine? Throughout history, many have asked themselves, was Jesus revealing to us a truth that goes beyond religious traditions? Imagine for a moment that Father is not just a title, but an invitation to experience life in a new way, where each of us can feel part of this great mystery. What if the key to understanding divinity is recognizing that we all have a divine spark within us? How does this change your perception of God and yourself? We invite you to continue this journey of discovery. What other hidden truths do you believe may be hidden in the words of historical figures? Leave your ideas in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing videos that explore what has been lost or forbidden throughout history. The search for knowledge never ends. Let's explore these mysteries together.